But another character that we always see implanted in these shows is the crazy conspiracy character from movies like Pixels to Independence Day to commercials like the ones I've talked about on this channel, Pizza Hut having a conspiracy character, Progressive Insurance, right? And there's a common theme with these characters. Not only do they act kooky and crazy, almost like their eyes bugging out of their head, they try to plant the seeds that anybody who questions anything out there is going to be wired as if they're on crack or if they're on too much caffeine, speaking, rambling, crazy, right? And they plant the seeds of what else? That these characters usually are living with their grandparents or living in their parents' basement, right? They'll have all these things on the walls, which they'll always show you, just like they do, but this character in Pixels, he's got the Loch Ness Monster from Aliens to Sasquatch, right? And he's speaking fast and he's saying all sorts of crazy things. To Mel Gibson's character in Conspiracy Theory with Julia Roberts. This is to plant seeds. This is why it's so hard for people in our shoes to wake other people up, because they have already created this image in people's heads of what somebody is who questions the government, who thinks that something's going on. And instead of getting people to understand what the actual term conspiracy means, or what a conspiracy theory is, in fact, talking about the government and corruption and why they would do these things, instead, people automatically will link these types of questioning or this type of questioning to things such as UFOs, Sasquatch, Loch Ness Monster, things that make us all look insane when we're asking normal, basic questions, when we're pointing out obvious flaws in some of these fake stories and these fake false flag events that continue to get played out through the media. So instead of actually looking at these things, these people have already had a trigger planted in their head, right? Through characters like this. They've already created a stereotype about who we're supposed to be and what we are, right? We're all living in our parents' basements. We're all in our parents' garage. Our walls are covered in newspaper articles. We think that they'll bring up things like JFK, and they'll bring up all sorts of conspiracies that are out there. And then they'll link it to all sorts of other insane things, right? That's what they want. That's how through these films and these TV shows, they have stereotyped us. So then the masses out there see this character. They don't realize that it's just repetitively being done throughout all of these films, that they're deliberately showing the conspiracy guy to have the same character traits. He's nuts, he's paranoid, he's schizophrenic, he's living at home, he's, just yelling and rambling about things. So people have that seed planted in their head. Then when you bring stuff up to them, it automatically will trigger that stereotype. And they'll go, oh, conspiracy theorists, and they'll dismiss it. Okay, they have worked endlessly to create this stereotype because they know through mind control, they know through repetition and constantly showing these characters that all they need to do is use a trigger word like conspiracy theorist or conspiracy theory, and then all of these thoughts will fly through people's heads. They won't remember seeing some of these movies, but they'll remember the character and the character traits because their brain processes those things. Then we see all this stuff on these late night shows, right? We see Stephen Colbert, John Oliver, all these guys wearing tinfoil hats, celebrities, tinfoil hats. Right? Something else that's insanely over the top.